Doug Mastriano was at the insurrection, and he was photographed breaching one of the restricted areas. Is that okay?
Which area? Because I saw a video where Capitol officers were taking away barriers and unlocking doors for people. So, I mean,
they opened the gates.
So it shouldn't be disqualifying for an elected official if they participated in January 6th?
He didn't strike anybody. He didn't hurt anybody.
And the only one that died was a protester there, not a Capitol police officer.
Unarmed female veteran was
That's
shot
the only
by
one that
police.
died.
That's the only one who died.
A police officer did die.
No, it was a
heart attack.
stroke.
That's not
on site.
Caused by that. That's because
Right.
he shouldn't have been a police officer. It was one woman.
So
who was
what do
shot.
you make, though, overall of January 6th? I mean, it was, watching that footage, it was pretty disturbing. I mean, there were people throwing excrement at the walls, and it was it's the Capitol.
It looked a lot like Antifa's actions
Yeah, it looked
to
a
me.
lot, except on a much smaller scale. It looked the same as the Black Lives Matter riots.
That's what I saw, the
Every single
similarities
city
to
around
me.
the country, not
Minneapolis
just one.
burns. Kenosha burns.
But so it's okay
Waukesha
just because one side that you disagree with?
I'm
it's
saying
okay
Antifa
for-
No, I'm saying
infiltrated.
It's good for one, it's good for the other.
Anybody
I
who
don't see it
harmed
that way.
anybody who caused property destruction, that needs to be dealt with.
Yeah,
but if you're
on
there
either
making
side.
your voice heard at the people's house, no less,
Yeah.
that's, again, it's a fundamental constitutional right of an American citizen, and people should not be being held political prisoner because of it.
For misdemeanors. That's East Germany.
That's East Germany.
Tactics.
Yeah, that's what's scary.
It was an actual fiery but mostly peaceful protest. And the other ones that were the opposite.
Was the protest legitimate in your
Our
eyes
administration,
because...
I feel like, is using it as their Reichstag fire.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they're using it as.
Do you think that President Trump could have quelled the violence that day?
Not him personally.
I don't think so, no.
I don't think so.
It started while he was still speaking. I was actually there. I was there to see what I thought was going to be the last time I ever saw Trump, little did I know.
So did he tell everybody to go and start rioting?
No.
I didn't think so.
No, and it actually, I stayed for the whole speech, like a ton of people did. And then we all headed to the Capitol because he said, let's go to the Capitol and peacefully let our voices be heard. And we get to the Capitol and we're like, what the hell's going on? Because it had already happened.
I'm pretty sure I saw Democratic operatives instigating people to cross barriers.
You were there that day.
Yeah.
What do you think?
No, I mean, why would he tell people to do that? Why did the people who did that not wait around for him to tell them to do that? He said that around the end of his speech, if I remember correctly. It happened before he even said that, I believe. I mean,
I think the timeline, didn't he speak? Because he was back at the White House and then he tweeted. So he tweeted.
But after
people were still there
and stuff, yeah. But it started while he was still speaking, and they talk about the fact that, oh, he didn't do anything for this amount of time. It's like, well, he was giving his speech and.
Why did Nancy Pelosi deny his request?
Actually, we have
several thousand National Guard troops.
Yeah.
Well, it actually isn't in Pelosi's power to deploy National Guard. Well, she's Speaker of the House. She has no authority over that whatsoever. And frankly, I think that's a good thing.
But even so,
isn't she in charge of security?
If there was that great of a risk that she was
Nancy.
offered them, then why didn't she preemptively beef up Capitol Police?
Right.
What she does have the authority to do.
Capitol Police were there.
But apparently they were taken off guard.
Yeah.
This is, I really don't know where to start here. It's Nancy Pelosi's fault. It's Democratic operatives' fault. It's the Capitol Police's fault. You go through all of this, Elise, and then we hear things like it's a fundamental right to peacefully protest, that they were peaceful protests, and these people are political prisoners that got locked up. That again, they're saying it just that they were mainly peaceful protests, and that nobody died except for a protester. There are 4 cops who died, And one of those cops died after an interaction here. And his family sure as hell believes he died the next day, that it was directly related to this. I don't really know. This is just one of these moments. And again, I have friends and family members that think like this. I don't know where they're getting their information, but I'm reminded as they're trying to blame everybody from Antifa to Nancy Pelosi that it was Kevin McCarthy who was screaming at the top of his lungs, along with other Republicans who were besieged inside the Capitol building while all of these Trump supporters were going in trying to kill Mike Pence and other people.
After Donald Trump told them to go to the Capitol.
After Donald Trump told them ahead of time to do it. And by the way, the timeline, some of those timelines were just absolutely bizarre, saying, oh, no, this all happened while Donald Trump was still speaking.
Anything to take the blame off of Trump supporters.
But yeah, and saying that Donald Trump couldn't stop this when we know, you just know, it was a matter of fact that when he told them to leave, they left. So this is, again, you've done a great job. I know it's disturbing to a lot of people, but I will tell you, this is what I hear all the time. Personally, and I just have to stop, communicating on issues like this with friends if I want them to remain friends, because they've been lied to, and they eagerly accept that lie, or they've been duped into believing that these were just peaceful protests, and that breaking through windows and beating the hell out of cops is okay. That's the message that they sent, that this was much ado about nothing. So. Any more insights on those answers from, it seemed to me, basic, good, law-abiding Americans, like my family members, people I grew up with? I mean, how do they get from supporting Ronald Reagan and George Bush and Mitt Romney to this?
Whew, that is a question way above my pay grade. But I will say it's so important that we listen to this and we don't avert our gaze, because too many people have turned away from looking at the actual fact pattern of what happened that day on January 6th and are instead choosing to cherry pick their own historical narrative. President Trump, chief among them, given that one of the inaccuracies that you heard parroted there, that Nancy Pelosi could have defended the Capitol. That's something that he has really been putting out there. And I believe he recently put out on one of those social networks that I can't even keep track of because he's always shifting around because he's banned or whatnot. This, though, is not an isolated belief set. It is widespread. And you have a subset of Republicans who are really embarrassed by what happened on January 6th. And you hear, they don't want to talk about it at all. But then within the silo chambers of where news is coming to different voter groups, these voters are being bombarded with conspiracy theories and lies about what happened, so much so that the original imagery of what happened, they are ready-made with a narrative to push and to dispel that Donald Trump did anything wrong at all.